Welcome back to Going Walkabout. Don't you love to stare in wonder at antiquities? Bejeweled ancient Chinese loving cups, marvelous miniatures that give us a glimpse of the past, famous old masters that put a grin on our face as we spy a lovable rogue. If you enjoy viewing treasures from a bygone era, you will love the Wallace collection, which is home to over 5,500 pieces of art and antiquity. In this video, we'll explore this hidden gem of London. We'll go over a brief history of the collection and the best way to see the most of it on your first visit. The most wonderful thing about the Wallace collection is it's open every day and it's free to the public. We began our fourth trip to the Wallace collection by catching the tube into Paddington Station. The day being my favorite type of British day, beautiful blue skies with fluffy white clouds. Paddington was the usual hectic cacophony of people excited to see and do in a city that is steeped in history and intrigue. Just out the door of Paddington Station, there was a lovely tea party taking place. However, we had no time for a tea break, as we had a 1-mile trek to get to Hertford House in Manchester Square, the home of the Wallace collection. In the heart of one of London's most elite neighborhoods sits the Wallace collection. You'll know you are in the right place when you see the spotless Georgian homes with gay flower baskets leading into Manchester Square. Looming up like the top tier on a wedding cake, you will see Hertford House, first built in 1812 and later remodeled in 1882, the grande dame of a very grand neighborhood. The Wallace collection was brought to British shores by 5 generations of a British aristocratic family, the Marquesas of Hertford. When the 4th Marquesas died, with no direct heir, his collection and much of his fortune were left to his illegitimate son, Richard Wallace. Richard added to the collection, his prime interest being the armory. Being a philanthropist as well, Wallace lent over 2,000 items from his collection to the Bethnal Green Museum in 1890. It is rumored that over 4 million people visited the antiquities at that location. This may have been the catalyst that prompted Wallace to request in his will that the house and the collection be left to the British people. Which takes us from 1890 to today, where all are welcome to gaze at the collection free of charge. We'll take a tour around the museum. However, I will throw out this caveat. We won't see it all, as there is too much to see. Rather, I hope this will give you enough info so you can plan a day of exploration and enjoy these treasures firsthand. We'll start on the main floor, which is sliced in 2 halves by an opulent staircase. As with everything in the collection, you need to look closely. Take, for instance, the staircase. On the main floor, you'll find that the gold that supports the banisters are in fact gold coins. This is because the staircase came from an upmarket bank in London. There are so many unique pieces in the house with unique stories to go with them, so make sure you leave time to digest all of them. Moving on to the rooms off the main floor, you'll be bowled over by the colors, textures, paintings, and furniture. The rooms have color-themed walls, and while there are groupings of certain types of antiques, you want to make sure you don't miss the furniture, which is discreetly placed in all of the rooms. This might be a good time for me to mention there is an app you can download for self-guided tours. I must confess, in my 4 times of visiting the collection, I have not used the app. Rather, I have just enjoyed being surprised by what I see and spending a bit more time on things that take my fancy for the day. Either way, you'll get a great education by seeing the wondrous things that these artisans have created hundreds of years ago. Carrying on from these initial rooms, you'll move into an area dedicated to glass, pottery, and majolica. The museum houses one of the largest majolica collections. As you move down the corridor, you'll be coming into what used to be the stables and now houses the armory. As I've said, I've now seen this armory 4 times, and I still wonder at the implements of war made breathtakingly beautiful by ancient artisans. One thing that gets our attention every time is the chain mall. Kiwi and I often wonder how the old blacksmiths could make these delicate links with their rudimentary tools. There are sultans, bejeweled daggers, and even armor for the war horses. If such things interest you, it would be easy to spend the best part of a day in these hallowed halls. Moving up to the second story, we find ourselves in the galleries. The collection is known for its 18th century French paintings. However, it also contains 14th to 19th century Old Master paintings as well. Scattered throughout the halls are these tables which have covers that say, "Please lift." Inside are miniatures and smaller portraits. It is interesting to note that not all the collection can be shown at any one time, so they do change out paintings and furniture, which is quite wonderful, as each time you go, you may be able to see different things. As I mentioned previously, look at the furniture too. In this case, I was shocked with the up-close detail in this beautiful desk, inlaid with mother of pearl and brass. Looking at these chest of drawers, from a distance they appear a bit gaudy. Up close, they appear breathtaking in their detail, inlaid with coral, malachite, and mother of pearl. While I enjoy paintings, I love pottery. The collection does not disappoint. There are jugs, while pleasing from a distance, are amazing to look at up close. The rooms are not meant to be like real rooms, but rather a backdrop to display these beautiful things. And while pottery is nice, porcelain is even more wondrous to view. Much of the porcelain was Marie Antoinette's, made under special decree from the infamous lady herself. There are hallways lined with snuff boxes, one more creative and beautiful than the next. Miniatures, all framed and displayed so that you can get up close and review the artist's deft hand. The key takeaways from this video should be: take your time and enjoy key areas of interest to you. You can get very close to the paintings, furniture, and statues, which is wonderful to understand the high level of craftsmanship that these artisans were able to aspire to. And if you feel a bit overwhelmed, you can take a break in the beautiful cafe that connects the main house to the armory. You can enjoy a tea and scones or a champers and get your energy up for more viewing. Leaving Hertford House, I knew I'd return yet again to the treasures off Manchester Square. Back to Paddington Station and a quick train ride back to our hotel. Tired but inspired, the way I often feel after a day of discovery in the beautiful city of London. If you've enjoyed this video, you may want to view some of our other videos that we've done on the UK. Thanks so much for watching. A thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. It would really help the channel. Or better yet, subscribe. Cheers for now.